Hey everyone, so today I wanted to film a video about why I don't eat meat because I get a lot of questions on my Snapchat asking me about what kind of food I eat and why I don't eat meat. So I thought it would be just a good idea to talk about it and clear it up. I've been a vegetarian for about 4 months now, and a lot of people think that I'm vegan because I used to be vegan for about a month just to see what it was like, but I decided to not be vegan and to be vegetarian instead. I was influenced a lot by my friend Stella because she's vegan and she's just living like a really good lifestyle, and it really inspired me to just kind of cut down on meat and eat healthier. I'll put a link to her YouTube channel in the description if you guys aren't already subscribed to her, but she posts a lot of really informational videos about what the vegan lifestyle does and how it benefits you, and I was just really inspired by her to stop eating meat and to eat a less cruel diet. In the past, I used to eat a lot of meat. I would eat chicken probably every day, and I would eat a lot of beef. I would also eat a lot of like chicken broth and bacon for breakfast and sausages, and just anytime I went to a restaurant, if there was a meat option for the kind of food that I wanted, I would just choose that because I just really liked meat back then, and I didn't really think about the consequences or why meat was bad or that it had any risks to my health because I didn't really care about what I ate and how that affected me. I started thinking about that more when I started to get chest pains because I was like, wow, I am not really thinking about what I eat and how this affects me. Maybe this is changing me and making it so that I'm less healthy and just have more of a risk for problems. So I decided that I would go vegan for 1 month just to see what it was like and how I felt. I didn't just immediately go vegan, I was pescatarian for 2 weeks, and then vegetarian for 2 weeks, and then vegan for a month. I think that it's good to do a transition because if you just suddenly become vegan or vegetarian or something without slowly weaning yourself off of those foods, then you might get really intense cravings, and that might make you stop or give up or not want to pursue that kind of lifestyle anymore. When I first became a pescatarian, I noticed that I started being less bloated than I usually was, and then I just felt a little bit better. I didn't feel too much better, but I felt a little bit better. I didn't really eat that much fish when I was a pescatarian because there's not a lot of seafood that I actually liked. But I ate a little bit sometimes when my dad would cook it for me because he knew that I wasn't eating any other kind of meat. And after a while of being vegetarian, I noticed that I just felt better and that my legs were looking just a little smaller. And I'm not saying that I felt that I was fat in any way, I just had a little bit that I was losing and it just felt better, but I was already happy with the weight that I was. When I was vegan, I felt better and I ate a lot of fruit and I enjoyed it, but I just felt like I was always craving these other things and that I always felt hungry, which I don't know if I just wasn't eating like the right amounts of food or something, but that's just how I felt and it was kind of hard for me. But I also think that it had a lot of benefits. Like I felt more awake and I felt like I was just less bloated all the time. I didn't really feel bloated ever unless I just ate a ton of like pasta or something, but I only felt bloated for a short period of time, like as my food was digesting, because that's just naturally what your stomach does when you're digesting food. It just gets a little bigger. So after I was vegan for a month, I decided to be vegetarian and to not eat any more meat. While I was vegan, I did a lot of research on what the meat and dairy industry does to people and does to the environment, and it just made me really sad to see all of these animals going through all of this and how they pollute the environment because we only have one earth and we should take care of it while we can and while it's still beautiful and while there's still beautiful trees and a beautiful sky. So I just decided that it would be best if I didn't eat meat and didn't contribute to any of the slaughtering that was going on. One of the main reasons why I went vegetarian was because I just love animals and I have two cats at home and I care for them a lot, and it just makes me sad that there are other animals that have feelings and that deserve love that are just being slaughtered and treated really cruelly by other people when they could be loved by us and just given attention, and that just makes me so sad. Vegetarians also save a lot of animals. When I did research as a vegan, I read an article where it said that vegetarians save hundreds of animals because the average person eats a lot of animals per year or in their lifetime, and especially for me because I used to eat so much meat, like just every day, so much meat. If I just cut it all completely out of my life, then I'm saving all of those animals. And even though people are like, oh, well, you're just one person, you're not really influencing any of this, or you're not stopping this industry from doing all of this stuff, when really you are, because if one person can save hundreds of animals and 10 people can save thousands of animals, then people going vegetarian or vegan are just helping other animals a lot, and I think that's really important. The effect that it has on the environment is also really detrimental. I watched this documentary called Food Inc., where it talked about how a lot of meat industries would have these giant pools and they would fill it with the blood of the animals, and when that pool got too big, they would start shooting the water out into the air, and then that would pollute the nearby cities and make it smell really disgusting and just dirty the air. And that made me so grossed out, and I was like, I do not want to contribute to this at all. Some health reasons why I went vegetarian. I felt less bloated after I went vegetarian. I don't think that I have weight that I need to lose because I don't feel like I'm fat or overweight or anything. I don't really weigh myself, so I don't really know if I lost any like weight in pounds, but I feel like that doesn't really matter as long as you just feel better and your body feels good, then it doesn't really matter what the number on the scale says. I also felt less sleepy. When I used to eat meat, I would drink coffee probably 3 times a day. I would wake up in the morning and I would drink like a cup of coffee, and then I would come home from school and I would drink a cup of coffee. I would probably drink another cup of coffee like a couple hours later just so that I could stay awake and focus. And that didn't make me feel very good. I was always kind of jittery. It just made my digestion feel kind of weird. And so by going vegetarian, I just feel like I don't really need caffeine anymore, and I rarely drink caffeine. Sometimes if I want to, I'll drink tea just because it's kind of relaxing and it's really nice to just come home and have a cup of tea and just chill and watch Netflix, but I don't need caffeine. It's not a drug to me. So yeah, I don't eat meat because I care about animals and I just love this kind of lifestyle. I just love feeling better and not having to worry about contributing to cruel industries or contributing to animal abuse, and I love the way that I feel. I just feel less bloated, less tired all the time, and I stopped getting chest pains, which was really scary for me because I'm only 17 and 17-year-olds should not be getting chest pains. I was supported a lot by my friends in this decision. I mentioned Stella earlier, but she was really supportive and she gave me all of these YouTube channels that I could watch to learn about just the vegan or vegetarian lifestyle. So yeah, thanks for watching everyone. You can ask me questions on Tumblr. I'll put my Tumblr in the description. And make sure to follow me on Instagram to see what I'm posting as well as Snapchat. So bye everyone!